August and September of 1940 marked one of the most decisive periods of the Second World War, a time when the Luftwaffe, confident after rapid victories across France and the Low Countries, expected to crush Britain's Royal Air Force and pave the way for Operation Sea Lion, the planned invasion of the British Isles. And on this particular day, a massive German armada of hundreds of bombers and fighters advanced across the English Channel, engines roaring through the gray skies above Dover, clouds heavy with the scent of rain and the smoke of burning coastal targets, while thousands of civilians below huddled in shelters, unaware that the fate of their nation rested not in numbers, but in the skill, courage, and unrelenting determination of a few hundred pilots flying the latest British Spitfires and Hurricanes, aircraft whose sleek frames glinted in fleeting shafts of sunlight as radar operators in scattered coastal stations tracked the incoming formations and sent urgent messages to scramble the squadrons. And from the hangars of RAF airfields in southern England, pilots ran across frosts, slick tarmac, leaping into cockpits, adjusting oxygen masks, and gripping control sticks as engines thundered to life. Rising into the misty sky where German Messerschmitt 19 swooped with deadly precision, formation after formation cutting across the airspace in tight, disciplined lines. And as the first exchange of fire erupted above the Thames estuary, tracer, rounds and cannon shells lit the clouds like fiery streaks, some hitting their mark while others tore harmlessly through mist. And the aerial choreography became a deadly ballet of speed, skill, and instinct, with RAF squadrons breaking formation to engage faster Messerschmitts, dive bombers attempting to reach industrial targets, and Spitfires dancing on the edge of stalling, engines screaming, pilots straining to spot the enemy amid smoke and cloud cover. And as flak exploded below from coastal artillery, sending shrapnel ripping across the waves and piercing clouds of frost-laden air, the battle raged with every second, stretching into an eternity. Human endurance tested as pilots sustained G-forces that left them gasping, adrenaline flooding veins, as the survival of their country depended on every successful maneuver, every shot, every split-second decision, while German commanders, unaware that their numerical advantage was blunted by the coordination of radar detection and the sheer tactical brilliance of the British fighter. Command under Air Chief Marshal Hugh Dowding pressed relentlessly, expecting London to fall and the skies to clear in their favor. Yet the 500s, small in number but immense in strategic importance, met them with unparalleled agility, intercepting bombers before they could reach targets, forcing them to jettison payloads into the countryside, some of which destroyed farmland but spared factories and docks. And as dogfights unfolded in the low cloud cover over Kent and the surrounding coast, pilots of both sides performed maneuvers that would later become legendary. Barrel rolls, Immelman turns, vertical dives, all while avoiding collisions, managing fuel, and keeping their minds razor-sharp despite exhaustion, with wingmen covering each other, spotting enemy aircraft, and communicating over primitive radio, their voices calm yet urgent, guiding one another as if choreography had been practiced for months. And the British airfields below worked tirelessly, launching replacement fighters, repairing damaged aircraft, while meteorologists and radar operators continued tracking movements, giving pilots a constant, though sometimes incomplete, picture of the Luftwaffe's advance. And as hours passed, the battle escalated to a crescendo. The skies littered with wreckage, parachutes blooming against steel clouds, smoke plumes marking destroyed bombers and fighters. And yet the RAF held their resilience and tactical superiority, blunting what Germany had anticipated as a decisive blow, turning potential catastrophe into the first major turning point of the air war over Britain, demonstrating that courage, technology, leadership, and preparation could outweigh even overwhelming numbers. And as the sun dipped behind clouds, casting long shadows over the green fields and gray waters below, the surviving German aircraft retreated, battered and demoralized, while the Spitfires, exhausted and scarred by battle, returned to airfields where mechanics hurried to ready them for the next wave. And pilots, some injured, some shaking from the adrenaline, knew that they had changed the course of history that day, not just through aerial combat, but through determination, coordination, and the indomitable will of men defending their homeland against what seemed an inevitable conquest. A day that would become legendary in history books, inspiring generations and proving that even 500 Spitfires flying in perfect synchrony could alter the trajectory of a world at war. That leadership, courage, and technological ingenuity could shift the balance of power, and that the skies over Britain, gray and storm-laden, would never again be easily dominated by the Luftwaffe, as this single day became a symbol of resistance, resilience, and the start of the end for German hopes of swift victory. A moment forever etched in the chronicles of World War II. And while the smoke cleared and the roar of engines faded into the evening, The story of that day would echo across generations, not only as a battle fought in the clouds, but as a testament to human courage, strategic brilliance, and the immutable impact of technology, training, and bravery, proving that even when the enemy expects total victory, the unexpected can change the course of history forever.